works 800 days offshore, will the bank approve his mortgage? It will have to be a specialist mortgage when you're working offshore. There are certain companies, there are certain lenders that allow companies that have offshore to do that. But again, I'd need to see, you know, your whole case. Can my partner and I get a mortgage if I'm a temp teacher, full-time work? It all depends on your credit history. So basically, based on, you know, and obviously, can my partner and I get a mortgage? So obviously, what's your partner's situation? Are they full-time? Are you full-time? How long have you been temping? That kind of thing. Obviously, you know, how much do you need to borrow? There's quite a few questions there. So I mean, generally speaking, depending on, you know, if you're a contractor, there are fixed rate contract mortgages. So there are loads of different things. You just need to be sort of aware of what you're looking for. My husband has a limited company for a year and then just self-employed for a year. Is that 2 years books? It depends if it's doing the exact same thing. So there are some lenders that if you had a limited company, you've self-employed and you've either gone from one to the other or vice versa, they will consider it 2 years of accounts because it's the same industry. If you're doing completely different things, then there would be, you'd have to look at a different type of lender. We are still waiting to hear back. The property is 230th. So I think it was cheaper. We could be okay. We would be okay. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. Okay, so now back to the original questions. So a lot of people, so let's talk about right to buy first, and then I'll go on to first time buyers. So when it comes to a right to buy, originally it was, you know, everybody applied before the 20th or by the 20th in order to get the, you know, the maximum discount they could. And then a lot of people at this moment in time are either getting their RTB2 back or they're getting, or they're arranging valuations. I've got, and I said it's in the bio, the opportunity for you to get access to my mini guide on valuations. I'm also going to do some other right to buy guides that you can also get if you want. And then but with the valuation, it is really important to know exactly what you're doing when they're turning up to do the valuation. I've spoken to quite a few people, but it's just easier to create the guide and let you guys have access to that, because I am limited on time and how many people I can speak to about that element of it. Obviously, I'm trying to split my time with people that already have the Section 125 and need me to do the mortgage, and everybody else I'm kind of giving them videos or guides or things to look at to sort of help them out. But basically, when you're getting the property valued, make sure you have a list of all the prior works that you've paid for and you make them aware of that. If there are any defects in the property, make them aware of that as well. There is, as I said, a checklist. You can go from there. Oh, how long have I been a broker? I've been a broker since 2020. And before that, I'm FCCA chartered accountant. So I did that for 20 years. So the next thing is, so everybody at the moment with the right to buy, it's a whole valuation thing, just be aware of that. And then obviously if you're getting your Section 125s, please get in touch and I'll be able to help you with your mortgage. Now, if you're a first time buyer and you're not just right to buy, it's just you're a first time buyer, the things I would say to you is start looking at property, start, you know, you can contact me, we can work out your affordability, see if you've got the right deposit, because just to be aware of, there is the stamp duty exemption. So basically with the stamp duty exemption, that is changing on the 1st of April. So if you buy a property that is worth 425,000 by the end of March, you don't have to pay any stamp duty at all. But if that you buy that same property and it completes a day later, then you're paying over £6,250 for your stamp duty. So I would 100% complete as soon as you can. Obviously, stamp duty can also affect people buying with right to buys, depending on, what is the price of the property that you're buying. So that's that. Hopefully that clears up those questions that people have been asking me. The majority of people have been asking me about the valuation for right to buy and about stamp duty for first time buyers. So I just wanted to cover those off. The next thing is, where are we? We've done that question. We've done that one. I work but get UC. Can I get a mortgage? I've had my right to buy or my RTB2 already. Yes, there are lenders that will accept benefit income as well. Some lenders, you have to have 50% income and earned income, and then 50% UC or some other type of benefit. Some, they're happy that you don't have any earned income and it's purely benefits. So again, I can assess you on a case-by-case basis. Just DM me. The next thing is, and by the time you get your RTB2, it is really worth getting in touch. A lot of people are waiting till they get their section 125, but if you get in touch beforehand, we can review your credit, we can see what work needs to be done and all that good stuff. Can my partner, we've answered that one. Yeah. How long is it for an offer to be considered? I put it in on Friday, still nothing. It can take longer than just when you say you put the offer in on Friday. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, but again, you can either try and verify here, or you can actually DM me. That's not a problem. I work and get universe credit. Yeah, we've already answered that. Earned income and UC is considered. How close the valuations from the council to the house being sold through an estate agent? I honestly, it really is difficult to say because each council differs, but basically, yes, you can get a valuation from the council and you can get a value. You can look at estate agents sold housing, but it is, you've got to look at the dates. So if a property was sold over 6 months ago, it's probably going to be a different one. A different pricing system. But if an estate agent obviously valued it today, maybe it would be a bit closer, but council do differ. I've heard from some people that councils are naturally just excuse me, some councils are looking at what the market value is and devaluing it a little bit, and some are doing the opposite. So yeah, each council is different. I work part-time, can I get a mortgage? It's all about affordability. They won't say no because you work part-time. They'd say no because what you earn part-time would be an issue. So it's not whether you work part-time or not. It doesn't say anywhere that you've got to have a full-time job to get a mortgage. It just stands to reason that obviously full-time you'll earn more than part-time. But if you don't need a very big mortgage for whatever reason, if you've got really, really good credit profile and everything else like that, then you do have a chance. But again, it is always down to affordability. Just be aware, it's always down to affordability. I've got an RTBA. I'm not 100% sure what an RTBA is, but again, DM me or explain on here what you mean. How long is it for the RTB2 to the valuation? It depends from council to council, I'll be honest with you, because basically what happens is some of the councils are automated and they can go from RTB1 to the acknowledgement, the RTB2, quite quickly, and then they have to book a valuation and then they have to organise for a valuer to come out. But So that can take time, or they are getting councils, or they're doing they're getting estate agents, or they are doing it themselves, or they're ringing up and not actually coming physically round. So I can't really answer that question. It does differ from council to council. Right, I've got an RTB. I'm waiting for a valuation. How will I know if my property is valued well? I just work on the comparisons we've talked about. So either ask an estate agent to have a look, or go on Rightmove or Zoopla or something like that and do your own research. Maybe, if you speak to your neighbours and they've been valued, if a lot of you are buying, that might be worth sort of looking into as well. My partner's. Right. So, yeah, when people say bad credit score, one, I can work with you on your credit. That's one thing. Two, I don't know until I've actually looked at it. I don't know what you mean by bad credit score. I mean, at the end of the day, if your profile, if the credit scoring done internally with the lenders is done, and they may offer you a different interest rate to what they would have done, that's also an option. Okay, so those are those questions. I think that is it for the night. I've been on for sort of 40 minutes now. As I said, if you have concerns about credit, I have a course on credit, and I can review your credit profile. I also offer the Right to Buy valuation guide, which I've created to help people as well. And if you've got any other questions, tomorrow I am going to tackle credit. I'm going to do an art. I'm going to do a live purely based on credit, so hopefully that will help. What is it? Right, I'll just answer one quick question. What is a decision in principle? Now, a decision in principle is the same as an application in principle, and it's also so it's a DIP, an AIP, that kind of thing. And basically, what happens is when you originally go to apply for a mortgage, there's two stages. So there's the provisional stage, which is the DIP stage, decision in principle stage, where you put in how much you want to borrow, you put in what your outstanding debt and everything is, and it normally does a quick soft search on your credit profile to see if, based on the information you've put, whether they're likely to give you a mortgage. When you go on to full mortgage application status, that's when they ask for more information. That's when they need to know the exact property you're purchasing. They will ask for more information, a lot more in depth, and then you could either have another soft search or a hard search in order to check your credit profile. So I hope that helps. As I said, I will be around for another live tomorrow at 8, so by all means join me. Again, feel free to check out the live on the YouTube channel, because obviously TikTok only does the highlights of the live. It doesn't do the full session. So by all means, go on that. There's plenty of videos on both channels, and I hope that's good. So everybody have a good night. Take care. And good night.